Lately, I've been thinking about how our home truly supports us, but a lot of times we don't know where to get the support or even what the support we need. So I thought we could revisit the 4 domains of home therapy. And once you're able to see your home through the lens of this method, I really believe it's going to be easier for you to create a home that truly supports you. My 4 domains are individual, organizational, communal, and renewal. And think of these domains as really layers in any space. It can be in the hallway, it can be in an odd little corner, to your family room, kitchen, bathroom. Whatever intentional function you want out of that space, pick a domain. But as therapy goes, we always start within ourselves. With my method, it's the same. We're going to start with the individual domain. Where are the areas in your home you can create spaces that invite you to expand your horizons mentally, physically, emotionally? I turned my bathroom into a yoga meditation center during the pandemic, and now it continues to be a place where I even lift some light weights to get my blood flow going before I start the day. So, really, it can be a tiny little space, but if you intend it to be your own and add that individual domain layer, you've got this. Story time. So here is a wonderful story about the individual domain and how it worked for this mom. She was a busy mom of 4. We renovated their kitchen. And as we were styling the kitchen and having, rearranging her workflow and things that go back onto her countertops, she mentioned that she is always munching on her kids' snacks in the late afternoon. And that's been a real hindrance to her nutritional goals and program that she was working on. So as I was, zhuzhing up her countertops for her, I realized, well, let's make an intention tray. If you don't know what an intention tray is, it's a home therapy method where you take a tray or a basket, anything that you find appealing, and that will hold the things for you to achieve a goal. So her goal obviously is, I don't want to eat my kids' snacks anymore. It's not making me feel good. I feel like a failure. It's just not working. We used one of those dead corners, which I'm sure all of you can relate. There's always a corner. It doesn't even matter if it's a small galley kitchen in a Brooklyn studio to a nice large home. There's these corners in a kitchen that just, you never know what to put there. Well, we made it really nice. We added some flowers, a plant, and a basket with a candle, a food journal, and then always her commitment to herself was having some healthy snacks that she loved. It could be carbs, it doesn't have to be super clean, but something that she felt was more manageable than her kids' snacks. And a few months later, she texted me and said that she was really consistent with her habits, and the intention tray helped her create a wonderful home loop, a habit to have that individual moment. And so that was her individual domain in that area. Second is the organizational domain. We all are plagued with clutter. I don't know one person who doesn't struggle with clutter. It doesn't have to be something that you have to tackle all at once, but let's not procrastinate either. I had a mom. She was also very busy with her work, with her kids, managing the house with her partner, 4 dogs. I mean, it was pretty crazy. She needed to organize her entryway, and they had a garage door that entered into a small little area. And honestly, for I think 15 years, they just let that place clutter away with tons of just junk, and that was their drop zone. So we ended up remodeling the whole house, but in that space, I created cubbies. We made a little mini mudroom, even though technically it wasn't. And we also had a home therapy session with the kids, the mom, the dad, and we talked about boundaries. We talked about what things are always to be placed here right when you come in through the door. So hooks for the backpacks. We had a cubby for all the shoes for each person. That was the shoes of the season that they were wearing. In more larger areas that were closed up, the door, cabinet doors, there were other longer term storage. But the very in the moment go-to storage, that little room catched everything. But we organized it in a way where even the keys had a place, and they created new habits in how they entered the house. That made a huge difference in how they got along, because the mom found herself yelling less about picking up after, the backpacks and the different things on the floor that she found every time that stressed her out. The dad never lost his keys. Okay, let's backtrack. Not never lost his keys, but he decreased his frequency of losing his keys because there was a hook just for his keys. He no longer had to ask his wife, "Where's my keys?" And then she would roll her eyes, and we all kind of know that pattern. The kids felt empowered to have a place of their own and not be yelled at. I mean, who wants to be yelled at every day? It's not fun. So there's these little intentional organizational ideas if you use the domain as a starting point. So we have individual, organizational. Now, as you've centered within yourself, you have those places of respite for yourself. You also have zones in your home that are organized. We are creating that inner structure so that once you're stabilized in your inner world, now you can expand into your outer world. And at home, what are the things in our outer world? Well, it's our relationships. So the third domain is communal. And this is one of my favorite domains because I love connecting and I love helping you connect. For a communal domain, it can be generally seen as the dining room, the kitchen, the living room. And even if you have formal areas that you don't use, I love sharing that you can transform them into something useful. So the dining room can be your communication hub. The living room is a place of play. It doesn't have to be like a formal entertaining area, but set it up where there's go-to games that you and your family love to play together, or there's access to things that your family can interact with without placing the sofa facing the TV and everyone's just, zoning out. You want to be very intentional about creating conversation and connection. The communal domain is that lens you want to look at in a space. A lot of times it is a dining table area and you're not going to be eating there. Like the communication hub for families, having a family meeting each week. It's very essential to staying connected with each other because we get so busy. Last but not least, the renewal domain. And this is really a place that's generally in the bathroom and bedroom, a sanctuary, if you will, of things that make you relax. Hydrotherapy, so if it's a bath or it's a shower, to cozy breathable bed linens that makes your bedtime routine that much cozier, just having your brain relax. And when we need those dopamine hits, it's not taking our phone and scrolling. It is making an intentional moment and decision to find healthier ways to relax our brain. Our brain during the day can be so frenetic and the biochemistry can be so off balance. Nighttime and morning time are perfect moments to recalibrate, reset yourself, and really achieve the goals that you want to at home and beyond without a lot of stress or overworking or chasing it. It's just a very natural, organic way to wind your body down, or in the mornings, obviously winding it up, but in a very organic, authentic manner. So when you see these 4 layers and domains into your spaces, you're going to be really fascinated because once you find areas that you thought was totally dysfunctional, but you're like, wait, what domain can I use for this space? What do I want to get out of it? Maybe I can help this relationship with my son thrive if we make a baseball throwing corridor in a weird space we have in the backyard. And that's a way to connect because he's a teenager and you don't really know, you never had brothers, you don't know how to connect in that way at this developmental stage. To, oh man, I have so much clutter. I don't have enough room going horizontally, but what are some vertical spaces I can create more storage? And all of a sudden, voila, a blank wall that you never ever thought could be useful becomes unimaginably effective. This was really short and sweet, but I wanted to revisit the 4 domains for you and help you truly find a way to feel happier, calmer, and most of all, confident in your home.